Good morning, everyone. Thanks for coming over in the early morning at 11 a.m. We have a very interesting topic today, which is rising Agentic, how AI agents are redefining on-chip interactions. And we have our esteemed panelists here. I'll leave them to introduce themselves. Let's start with Renz on the other side.
Hi everyone, I'm Renz. I mentioned CEO and founder of Sovrun, also a core contributor of ReadyGamer, which is the AIX gaming joint venture between Virtuals and Sovrun. So I want to talk about Sovrun first. We haven't really completely announced, but we've been dabbling on virtual sports games. We're here to talk about AI agents and how they're redefining watching their outputs. So we're ushering into a new kind of format for not just virtual sports, but sports spending as a whole, whereby every single character inside the game or the virtual sports game is now an AI agent, and you get to see how these different agents interact and respond to however their opponents are doing or whichever opponents they're face-to-face with. On the side of ReadyGamer, we've been heavily doing a lot of things on the Roblox side. So trying to see whether or not the conversions and the interactions of kids would actually be different if it's not as homogeneous as a natural agents. And we want to see if throughout time, especially since it's an environment with which they want to be using from now until maybe 5-10 years from now, how would an agent help them progress through different environments and the different games that we play with versus individual experiences that they don't have or they don't have any relationships. So yeah.
Hi, I'm the co-founder of Zentry. He share a little bit about Zentry as well. Right now, Zentry, we are building the AI-powered platform that turns your everyday activities into the data, and then we use that data to train AI to make your life better. It works in is that first we have the application layers, in the sense that we build various suite of products that are useful to your life. We have games, we have social fly, and we're gonna have trade fly as well for traders. And we're gonna have all the data that we get from the use of this application that we built. We're gonna aggregate it into the data layers, which we're gonna use train the AI, which is gonna be your AI companions that gonna help your life easier doing your activities you do every day.
Alright guys, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Dan from Pundi AI. So probably you guys know Pundi X is a payment, and Pundi AI is our new initiative of AI data layer. So I think we are the largest AI data layer on Web3 at the moment. We have around 1 PB data on chain at the moment. And recently we had a new initiative called Data Pump. So the Data Pump is something like Pump Fund, but the underlying asset is the data. So we want to become the data file. So everyone, the developers, wherever, you can just tokenize your data set, AI data set on chain, and then you can launch your token set, tokenize and monetize it. And right now, I think we are just launched like 2 weeks ago. So feel free to take a look, Pundi AI. Thank you very much.
GM everyone, I am Arthur Lin. I'm the founder of Gaius Protocol. First of all, we just from Singapore and we just had our 60th birthday, so I just want to do a shout out to about happy birthday Singapore. So my company is day one invested by the Singapore government, the Sovrun Fund of Singapore, to help transform traditional finance with crypto and AI frontier technologies. Myself, I spent 12 years in the Special Forces. I graduated from US Ranger School and did 2 tours in Afghanistan, became the commander of the Airborne Special Forces unit, helped with the digital transformation of Singapore military defense. And my first startup was sold to Alibaba. Ali Sports was a zombie run startup, and then I moved to one game and was called back to Singapore to help this digital transformation. So Gaius Protocol recently just launched on Finance Alpha. We are still very early stage. We are building an RWA chain, RWA ecosystem where we lower the friction of RWA's integration, KYC, payments, and tokenization with AI, and helping users, anyone, right, with $2 or $1, you can have your own family investment team, investment office to help you manage your investment. So this is how we can bring liquidity and lower the friction from TradFi to crypto.
All right. Thanks for the panelists for your brief introduction. I'll do mine as well. On the slide, I'm the CEO of ReadyGamer. Johnny mentioned between Sovrun and Virtuals. So in Virtual Waterfall, I actually am the VP of gaming. So particularly focusing on AIX gaming. That's how the JD was formed. I think fun fact, before Virtuals came about, I think there's two other projects that came from the gaming scene. And then when Virtual Protocol decided to pivot to AI, we actually started with AI gaming first. Our first product was actually on Roblox, and that's why we are still dabbling around with Roblox to find a very good PMF to bring it to the Web3 scene as well. But currently we're more working on Roblox only. So since we have gaming, infra, and also I think DeFi or Agentic protocol. So let's start with a very simple question, right? How do you define on-chain agent in the context of your project, and why does it matter today? I think let's start from this side and then we'll go over to this.
Sure. I think on-chain agent is basically AI agents that can operate and execute tasks on-chain. Right? They can interoperate with on-chain infrastructure, on-chain tasks, they connect with the data sources and execute tasks for us. It's significant because actually in the crypto world, in the Web3 world, we are actually driving AI. AI started with chatbots. So about 2 years ago, we have retail applications, ChatGPT coming in as a key product. We have complexity as well. And then following on, we have like AI agents that is executing simple tasks like reading images, reading videos. But now today, we call computer use agents where they can execute complex tasks like KYC for you, can execute the investment deals for you, and this is all driven by very advanced crypto blockchain technology where we are all just starting within these 2 years. So I think this is a very bullish trend to drive not just in crypto but also in AI as driven with practical applications.
Right. So in our cases, I think we are a bit from seeing things from a different perspective. So everyone knows if you want to train an AI agent, there's venues, we have GPU with data, you need to have the model. So we are more like a supplier, like the service, like a data provider. So we provide the data to the right developers to develop their own agent. So in this point, I think we are from the upstream perspective. So we provide data, and then wherever like medical data, pharmaceutical data, then we provide and help them to use it. But in our cases, we also use AI agents to filter, or rather to go for the annotations of the data as well. So we go for analyzing the data, whether someone is cheating, whether someone is parallelizing the data. So that's how we use the AI agents to ensure and filtering the right AI data set to the right owner.
I think my definition would be quite similar to other, in the sense that AI, on-chain AI agent, right? It's like digital entity that you can hold asset on-chain and can execute action by itself. And it is going to be improving over time when you use more as the AI, right? And the more you use it, the more they know about how you trade. And if you're a good trader, like you having a double finger of yourself, helping you to trade. And I mean, you can add more of the variety of data to make them into a different personality as well, so that it can help you to raise a second opinion about your action on that you trade on chain or whatever.
So specific to gaming, there's actually 2 parts. The first one is really more on information and content. So what that means is that you can have like an agent help you guide the process, whether that's via the tutorial, companion, or anything else that is happening, right? You can also have like agents that perform or create puzzles for you, as quests, right? And all of those things. And the second layer would be more the execution techniques. So after understanding like happening, who deploy your app, maybe who the agent of your app, it will have multiple points that can execute on your behalf, whether that's purchasing something you, doing certain tasks mandated by you, or eventually, just going or progressing through the game on your behalf, right? Based on whatever guidance provided.
Okay, I think we have also touched on agent having control of capital. Particularly in the context of here, probably like on finance, on Gaius protocol, gaming, Zentry, or Sovrun, ReadyGamer. Like, what fundamentally changes when agents can control wallets and take on-chain actions directly? I think let's start with Gaius protocol first on the finance side, and then moving on to the gaming and finally Pundi AI if you have anything else to add.
Yeah, I think AI agents also, as you can see, there are good AI agents and bad AI agents as well. And we have sort of like a policeman system. So we also need to have MCP integrated for multi-agent systems to be operatable and is able to identify certain bad actions. And these bad actions could be not through bad intent, but through bad quality information. So data source, data quality is very important. I think previous speakers has all mentioned about hallucinations of information. So I think this is one of the theories. At this stage, I think we're still at a very early stage of agentic AI. Although there's a lot of theory, but practical, I think it's still a very early stage. So human interference and human permission controls are important to place the infrastructure. And I think the last part is also for users, right? Yourself, right? Okay. Your own risk management is also important. You don't all in onto AI managed wallets. So you put a portion where you think you are able to lose completely. Right? I think that is one of the ways, some three key sectors to consider.
Alright, let's move on with gaming like Zentry or Sovrun on the ad first.
What was the question for gaming again?
Alright, so I think in gaming we also have agents that can control wallets, right? Let's say to purchase stuff for gamers and so on. What fundamentally changes when these agents can actually control, let's say the in-game currency of a particular player? In your opinion?
My opinion, it is not about gameplay itself. That you use agent to drive the game. But if you talk about the agent that hold the asset for you on chain, I think it would be quite similar to trading in the sense that for me, I would use the agent to keep tracking the item marketplace. Just as a gamer, you know that there are some items that are going to be useful, or it has to be, using game in a particular time. For example, during the queue war phase, some particular item going to be the price going to jump up because it's very high demand in the world. I think I might use my agent to keep tracking of this information and then perform the strategy that, okay, if I want to participate in the guild war, I want to, lower the budget I need to spend for my guild to win this war. And I will let this agent to basically acquire all the required materials or items I need to use in the war for me. I don't have to keep watching for the right moment to do it. I just ask my agent, hey, do it whenever you feel like to do it.
Alright,
and it's not gonna be expensive like trading, right? I mean, it's something that you can afford to lose.
So I echo that. For me, it's first is a more efficient and vibrant market / game economy. And the second would be a more dynamic and personalized experience for the user. Touching on the first point, which is a more vibrant and I'd say efficient economy way. If you guys have played, I think Ragnarok or any MMO, you actually know the struggle of trying to find the right equipment at the right value. And oftentimes we have to go around marketplace or whatever city it is, right? just to be able to find everyone. But with the AI, you can skip and on already asked for agent to look for it yourself. And the balancing of a lot of these assets, especially as more of these particular assets produced, is going to be faster because agents can interact with other agents at a much faster rate than many people can. At the same time, agents will have full access on which guy is actually selling which makes it more efficient and faster to scale as a whole. Now moving on to the other point, which is vibrant point, right? Like the number of interactions that an agent can perform in a day or even in a minute is much faster than us. You can see like higher GMPs for gaming, higher volumes, and higher turnovers for certain items. Meta will also move faster because Meta will die fast, right? And these are things that could be interesting to see in a world where bots are not seen as like something to be kicked out of the game, but as agents who help or who are actually native into the game as well. Now the second point, which is more dynamic and I guess personalized experience for users, is I think the first thing that people actually was very bullish on with regards to AI XP, right? What if like you can make progression different from user to user, right? What if like experiences can be tailored to a specific person based on how he has played and consumed the game from before, right? And the game suddenly adapts or changes all of the things within that particular environment because of the type of thing that this person plays or the genre that this person plays. So yeah, there's a lot of potential, especially if the AI is fun, but I think the most obvious one would be more the impact to the game economy, and then secondarily to how content can change with regards to
Right. So I will see things from a different perspective. So because we are a AI data layer, so we like we suggested, we are the upstream. So we provide data to models, to developers to train their AI agent. So we have seen training data, we have seen pharmaceutical, medical data, everything. Then what is really important on the part is every data, every AI agent, like no matter it's trading, gaming, wherever, has a very serious hallucination, very serious. So what we try to do when we suggest to our counterparty, what they do is we actually encourage them to do what we call in legal terms is called cross-examination, or rather peer review. So when we actually see that only one AI agent, but inside or rather in the context of one AI agent, inside probably they have 5 or 10 AI agents that they will speak to each other. When there's a result, they will cross-examine with the other agents and the other agents. And finally, when they reach to a consensus, probably 2 out of 3 or 4 out of 5, then they will reach to you. But the thing is that this one could be very, very costly. Right? From our cases, so we will sell 100,000 or 200,000 data for a particular agent, but just to train for that particular AI agents to answer you the questions. So right now in our data set, or rather in our cases, only the trading AI agents is so-called profitable because people are willing to pay for it. That's the reason. And what we see, because each data set is so lucrative, is so important, and some of them don't want to just sell it to one particular AI agents provider. So they want to monetize it and then to share it to more people. So that's why our AI data layer like us is so important at this moment because of the hallucination. Yeah, so I mean, just a fun fact, most of the AI agent at the moment is just a rule-based AI agent. They are not agentic anyway. Yeah, thank you very much.
Alright, I think for me the key takeaway is from all the panels regarding like agent control capital is that one that we shouldn't all in our capital, allocate accordingly. That should be the basic risk management that most people on Web3 would know. And then on the gaming that we have seen a lot of use cases, especially I'm very bullish on AIX gaming mainly because I'm an MMORPG player as well. Right now online was one of mine. I had a hard time when I get a new equipment, I'm thinking, is this equipment better than the last? Can I how much can I sell it for? I need to go to the marketplace and look at it for an hour just to deduce what's the price like. And with AI agent, I think this can be done in a minute, and they can help me sell and buy and high and low. Yeah, and then lastly, data sets are very important at this point, and trading definitely have a lot more data set. Whereas in other applications, it might be gated by the giants that don't want to let go of their data and they train their own AI. Yeah, as we know, the Web 2.0 is a very close ecosystem. So I think let's move on to fiction, right? Whereby it's agent versus humans. Our current applications are meant for humans where there's behaviors and we take time to execute stuff. But for agents, right, they operate instantly at a scale without fatigue. And then so some questions to each of the project. For example, first let's start out with Sovrun, right? How do you ensure fairness in the game economy with non-human players?
That's quite interesting because I don't know how we'll define fairness eventually, right? Will fairness involve access to information that shouldn't be public, but is it the metadata? I don't know, right? But for me, almost every single information is out there, right? And AI will actually not have more access to information, but it can consume probably more information than, right? And that is probably the advantage that it has. Is that fair? Maybe, because you still have access to the same data anyway, right? And in fact, you have access to data outside of what's on-chain, for example, which may be considered as unfair versus the agent. So it's quite interesting to see how will we define fairness in that sense. But I do feel like eventually it's not going to be a human versus AI. It's going to be a human and AI versus a human and AI, right? And the key to being able to make the most out of whatever it is that you have is to actually work well or work together with your AI properly. Right? The same as how can someone given the same task and given the same tool cannot have the same result, right? Even with AI, if I were to ask you to make a certain video, our results would vary because probably you prompted it better, right? And the same thing would actually happen with how well we communicate with our AI or with our agents, right? So that we can yield better results, better than our peers, better than whoever it is that we're actually really dealing with. And that will be the basis for competition. It's going to be cooperation.
Alright, let's move on to Zentry, right? In the metagame you're building, you guys use a loyalty system. So how do you, how does the system adapt when AI agents replaces players? So for example, if a player uses an AI agent to start farming the reputation and stuff like that, yeah.
I think there are two ways that you can do it. Right? I mean, first, you just alter them with the AI. So if the user uses the AI to farm the system, you use the AI to check the pattern if this is the AI or this is real human. I think that's how we do it right now. We use the algorithm, use the AI, and I think. But I just found another one interesting solution. The World Point, right, or the World app, the World ID thing is built by Sam Altman. I don't know because this guy, I think he saw through this problem. That's why he's building this solution for problem. And I think it's quite interesting, and it could be one way to help us to filter out the human from the AI by using the identity that you got by identifying your iris, the eyes.
For Pundi AI, as you're building the infrastructure layer for AI agentic, what are the biggest challenges you foresee when agents become the end users of financial systems?
Okay, so the current finance systems at the moment is designed for human, and AI actually see things differently, very differently. So I build my AI agents as well. To help me to code, to write, and interact with the on-chain activities, farming, wherever. So the one very funny stuff. This is not really. This represents all my stuff, not Pundi AI. So we are currently developing some AI agents, but the way they handle money, USDT, USDC, is differently. They see things because from an AI agent perspective, for them it's just a code, it's just a unit 256. So we need to make it programmable to let AI to use it. So we see LP tokens as a collateral, for example, but our AI agents see that as a program. as a so-called a return, a receipt. So they see things differently. So when they try to understand or rather analyze it, so they feel they have a very, very different feeling from ours. That's why the hallucinations happens. They see things different from our perspective because we have been through the Luna cases, we have been through the FTX cases. We know how if I send money to other people's wallet, what's going to happen next. But AI agent doesn't. So right now, I think when we want to do something in the future to interact with the finance systems, we need to rebuild the tokens or rather the legal tender that we want to interact with. I think that's the more fundamental issues that we need to be think about and develop further. That we need the whole ecosystem and the whole blockchain to work on it. Yeah.
Okay, let's move to Gaius protocol. You guys are a multi-layer DeFi AI agent protocol, right? So how do you make sure that when AI agent starts to manage this DeFi for end users, how does the system adapt when it's no longer humans but agents interacting with real-world value?
I think I mentioned earlier on this computer use agents that one of the new developments is also reinforcement learning with human feedback, so RLHF. So this is a very important innovation in agentic development where human have to play a part, right? Human is not replaced, but is play a part in verifying certain data or getting certain permissions. So this is what we are building in terms of our RWA chain. There isn't any real world or RWA chain that's available now. So a lot of DeFi but focusing on integrating real world assets and real applications to the digital finance or crypto finance world. And what we need to do here is really having the right infrastructure to allow seamless applications or actions to be done, but at certain key critical juncture to have human feedback to provide with the post and pre-learning execution of this AI.
Got it. So I think we have about 8 minutes left. I'm going to combine 2 questions together, right? And then you guys can answer it. So what's the most underexplored problem that you think that in the current on-chain agent space lack today? And how does your project plays a role in addressing it or shaping it into an agentic world that we want it to achieve in the near future, 3 to 5 years from now? I hope the question is clear. Like what are the gaps that we have and how does your project plays a role to address it in the next 3 to 5 years?
Maybe we can start first. I think first of all, there are 2 key potential areas. I think one of them is MCP. A lot of big players, like what you mentioned, they want to share because they want all the traffic, they want all the data. So it needs a lot of good quality data to share to new technologies or new innovation to startups that can be even more superior product, but bad quality of data. So I think MCP is one key potential. If you are able to create a MCP system like the USB, right? Just like a USB port is standard or Type-C is standard, then all kind of phones or all kind of computers can plug in to share data. So I think it's something similar that we need in the AI world. It is something very new. It's just I think less than 6 months old. So this is something that we are exploring to build Gaius protocol as well for real world assets. And second, I believe is in terms of the I think I'll just keep on now. I forgot the last one.
Okay. I totally agree with Gaius protocols. Basically, if we look at the models, how do we build a good AI agent? You need GPUs, computations. You need model, LLM model, or small language model, whatever. And you need data, and you need connectivity. So among them, data is the most important thing. So what we try to do here is we don't want our data to be controlled by Google like Facebook. So we try to democratize it, right? So we try to let every small developers to be able to use or to spend a bit to get a good quality data. And then we try to let the data provider and the developers to meet in the middle without the manipulations of the big company. So that's why Pundi AI is here. And we have been doing this 18 months ago, right? So good data, like a very vertical data, like pharmaceutical, like medical data, they are very expensive. So we need to go to a university to get the graduates to help us to annotate the data. Guess what? One images is 30 cents. You need hundreds of thousands of images, 30,000 or 300,000 for one AI agent to be notified or to be analyzed of your blood cell. It's very, very expensive. So what we try to do is to reduce the price, to let more pharmaceuticals or startups, more medical startups to be able to encourage them to use and purchase the good quality data with a much cheaper price. And with that, we actually figure out if we only can connect one point to one point, like one data set for one owner, that will be very, very expensive. So we were thinking about how can we monetize it. So the monetization, that's why we have this data file or the data pump concept. So we let everyone, we have the good data to launch our good token. And the developer can only need to pay a fraction of the price to get access to the data. So that's what we try to do, and we are moving forward. And I think the good quality data, and even though your personal data on Twitter, on Facebook, on Shopee, for example, can be tokenized, and don't let the Shopee, Google manipulate it and monetize it without your contributions. So the data is very important, and this is what we are trying to do. Yeah.
Thanks. Just a quick comeback on the second point. I think it's RWA, Oracle data sources. So I think that is really lacking in space. RWA is thriving, but there is no real-time transparency, traceability of all this information and data sources.
I totally agree with these two. I think data is the most important factor for the AI agent to be smart right now. Just if you talk about the model or the computational powers, we have the smartest mind of people on Earth to working on those programs already. But what would make agent matters is like my agents or your agent is going to be the data that you feed the agent. That's why for Zentry, we also want to solve this problem as well. And I think the quality of the data that you put into the agent also matters. That's why we really put a lot of effort into aggregating the high quality data. For example, the human behaviors that we aggregate through our application, games, social file, or trade file, and we're gonna use this aggregated data for the people to be utilized. They can use our data to build something on the agent, and at the same time, the people who feed the data to us are gonna get something in return for the data as well.
I support it actually. Maybe short plug, right? We actually developed like a product called Big, which is tied to the downhole. And the idea is basically, can we actually democratize data, right? By farming it to everyone else. So we partnered with Algo in the Philippines, access to subscribers, in the hopes that we can convert like every single data point into like a quest format. Which will be done by a human, right? So that can help in the trading company. That's it. Now, the other thing that I think is also a gap, and this is maybe for us, right, would be how do we now do model confidence? And also like outperformance. There's a number of things that AI can do that sometimes, because of how fast and easy it can be produced, becomes then homogeneous. Now, who would actually be given credit for the stuff that people are doing now, especially if they're almost similar, right? Almost similar work. And this is what we're trying to achieve. Can we potentially create like a chain-like solution for these things so that we can properly show that, hey, this outcome, this result was actually generated at this time, this thing, and it can be, a source of truth, especially when more important things that are developed on chain, that developed like using AI, are already in motion. So for me, these two apps are center everything that we're doing.
Right. I think in short, what we see here is, data sets are, are the main gaps that we can see now. And building an AI agent is basically building like having a baby where you keep injecting data into it. And data contributors are very important in this space. So if you're very good at training data, you can even start your own AI agents. And then if you need help, Virtual Protocol is here as well to launch any AI agents if needed. You can reach out to me. And also reach out to all the panels here for their, whatever they're doing now. Sovrun is building autonomous world. Zentry more on the meta game, loyalty and rewards. Pundi AI, the data sets, giant protocols, DeFi AI protocol. Yeah. Thank you everyone. Thank you for the organizers for setting up such an awesome panel for everyone to have. Hopefully you guys have good takeaways. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you to our moderator.